Hello and welcome to the Must Watch Space Show. We're just going to give people a couple of seconds to join the live stream. If you are watching this right from the start, please start sharing the stream. It helps with our algorithms immensely. So here we go. It's the Must Watch Space Show with Vicky Video, showcasing the UK space race. So like and subscribe the Star Factory channel. Also, we have a Martian. Come on, Krempog, blast off! Hello and welcome to the Must Watch Space Show with me, Vicky Video of Star Factory Productions. A star factory is a vibrant region in space where stars are formed. It's also where we make your space business famous. So it's a completely brand new venture for me. We aim to be a little bit like The One Show, which is kind of quite a popular mainstream chat show that they have on the BBC most evenings of the week. Now, there's loads of amazing space webinars out there and they are fantastic, but a lot of the time you've got to be quite well informed to watch them. They are fascinating and I watch lots and lots of webinars, but they can also be quite intense and technical if you don't know the basics. So we are going to go right back to basics. So this is not a geek out. This is not a heavyweight chat show. This is for anybody who's perhaps heard about the UK space sector. Perhaps you fancy a career change. Perhaps you've heard all about the investment, the jobs. It's for parents to tell their kids about. It's for students. It's for graduates. It's for potential investors. For anybody who is curious about the amazing things that are happening in the UK space scene at the moment. So if you are new in the space sector, because the amount of recruits that are entering is phenomenal. If you are brand new to the space sector and you want to get to know the lie of the land, some of the terms used, some of the major players and some of the minor players as well, this is where the Must Watch Space Show will be handy for you. Okay. So we've got some comments coming in. Let's have a look. Hello. Hi. It's also interactive. So we've got people on YouTube who are watching. This is a great way to build a rapport with your audience and to build engagement. So hi, Melinda, my Space Tourism Society #1 there. Thank you very much. Hello, Ian. Lovely to have you here joining us for the show this evening. So a little bit about me. I am a broadcaster. I'm a video blogger. I'm a content writer. I run Star Factory Productions, and Star Factory is here to add a little glamour and excitement to the space sector. And you can tell that because I'm wearing a spangly top. So obviously it's showbiz. People watch social media to be entertained and first and educated second. So hopefully we're going to slip under the radar, do some entertaining and get people's space brands in front of the eyes that matter. Okay, so what we do in this show is hopefully use some pattern interrupt devices. It's my favorite thing at the minute. When you're scrolling to your Facebook, your LinkedIn, your YouTube, you've got to be really eye-catching to stop people from zombie scrolling, as I call it. And hopefully we're going to be doing that, a little bit of that this evening with the interactive comments, the jazzy backdrop, the cosmic microwave backdrop, as I call it. If you're a space geek, you should know what that means. Graphics, animations, music, and maybe even, towards the end at least, a little orange Martian who might just be joining us. Okay, so let's go to space. We're going to start with the very basics here. There are two broad space terms that you will hear. And according to an excellent piece from the University of Edinburgh, our daily lives are influenced by what happens in space, so much more than we realize. The research from the space industry cascades down, affecting a wide range of technologies. It's a really, really exciting time for the space industry, particularly in the UK, where the space sector has undergone huge growth over the past 5 years. So now the UK space industry currently employs around 45,000 people, with a prediction of growth that would result in the creation of 100,000 jobs in the next 30 years. So with such a positive outlook, the opportunities for graduates look set to rise. So if you want to be tantalized and amazed by the diversity of jobs in the space sector, I've got one link for you. Go to spacecareers.uk for dozens of jobs, of listings, of internships and interviews with very, very, very cool space people indeed. So broadly, the industry is split up into two parts. We've got upstream. The simple description is that an upstream space technology company develops products such as hardware or software for use in space. Upstream space. I'm sat on a rotating chair here, actually. I don't usually have a spinny chair. I'm going to have to try to remember to keep still here. Maybe I could get someone to weld some bolts to it while we're on air. With upstream, the simple description is that an upstream space technology develops products such as hardware or software for use in space. Upstream space technology companies include those working with rockets and or satellites and associated technologies. These days, the sector also includes companies working with space exploration and space tourism. If you've been watching the news lately, you will have seen there have been some pretty high-profile space tourism launches. And also, I am president of the Space Tourism Society UK, which we can talk about later. I like to think of the upstream as the wow and the whiz bang part of the sector. And to be fair, it's the one that gets me excited the most. Downstream, we have got satellite communication, navigation, Earth observation, and data from satellites. Now, I did hear Alan Cross of ESA say that it's estimated if you check your phone, watch BBC Breakfast, then you drive to work using your sat-nav, you may interact with as many as 15 satellites. And you can thank satellites for your perfect cup of coffee, your weather forecast, and the perfect golden crunch on your own brand cornflakes. I had own brand this morning rather than Kellogg's. I felt deprived, to be honest. So, upstream may seem at first glance to be the most exciting segment of the space industry, but when it comes to innovation, jobs and revenue creation, and the provision of services that change people's lives for the better, the downstream market is where the action is. So over the coming months, we're going to be spotlighting major players in the upstream and downstream sector. But tonight, I've got two companies from the upstream sector to launch the show with a bang, as it were. We have got Paul Williams from Black Arrow. They are pioneers of the rocket launch from a seaborne ship. Paul will be talking about his team of WISE ambassadors and how Black Arrow is a vision almost at fruition. Paul, I'm going to get you on right now. Hello.
Hello, Vicky. How are you?
You've got there.
You must recognise them. Surely you're not of that age. This is Baby Clanger.
It's a baby.
Clangers are all over CBBC at the moment, and
oh, are they? Yes.
It's one of our most famous spaceborne characters. I haven't got a puppet of the Soup Dragon, but I'll work on that. Anyway, I thought Baby Clanger would like to come in and say hello. So.
Oh, boo 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 boo.
Wouldn't let me go unless he did.
Oh, that's so sweet, Paul. Now, when was the last time we saw each other? The only time we saw each other, actually.
Conference in Newport in 2019.
Yes, how good was that?
It was brilliant.
That was pretty cool, wasn't it?
Yeah, our stand was fantastic. It was very well visited, and we made a lot of friends and a lot of connections up there, and we did good. It was a good show. Enjoyed it.
And it's where
we went on to do 3 others that year. DSEI in London and in Bremen and in Monaco, and we had a pretty good feedback and a pretty good result from 2019 all told, and then everything collapsed.
Oh no! And how was lockdown for you, Paul?
It was okay. Yeah, it was okay. You know, the company has been based in my upstairs command center for 3 years now, so it didn't really affect me at all. I would put a mask on, but I think that's taking a little bit.
Take that earpiece, Lily. I've got a glamorous assistant here who's helping me out, and I'm just giving her a little earpiece so she can listen to what's going on.
Okay.
So we are, Paul, I've got a surprise for you. You know, I've been talking about a surprise.
Go on.
I'm going to play you something. It's just playing on its own here now. So I've got a surprise for you. Are you ready for it? It's going to hopefully encapsulate everything that you do in quite a rocking way. Are you ready for it?
Sure. Always ready.
Okay, let's have a look. Where does it lurk on my computer? Let's have a look. Share.
Nice
Share
queuing.
video file. Right, are you ready for it?
No, yes.
Where's it gone? Where's it gone? It's in my downloads file. Okay, here we go. Come on, play. Here we go. Cassandra, are you holding on to your hat? Why? Should I be? Yes.
Black Arrow is totally hip because they're launching from a ship into sun-synchronous and polar orbit from their very own cool spaceship. Black Arrow, space technologies. Hefted into space from a safer place. Less fuel, less noise, and a clear airspace. And with a team of wise ambassadors, gender equality shows a valiant face.
He's jumping. F1 sound effect.
And with F1 friends right next door, Black Arrows borrow brains and form a corporate rapport. Black Arrow, space technologies. Oh yes, Black Arrow, you're totally hip. We can't wait to see the launch from your own spaceship.
Oh yes, that was very exciting. That was quite the rumble. When's the next one, Paul? I've lost me hat. Star Factory Productions. Put the showbiz in your space biz. Whew.
Fantastic.
How was that for you?
Very good. Nice surprise. Thank you very much for that.
Oh, very good. Well, yeah.
We'll sell it in our shop.
It's such an, number one in the charts, Paul. It's such an inspiring thing that you do. Would you like to tell us a little bit about what it is that you do?
Gosh, what, in 10 seconds or something?
Yeah, go on. 30 seconds.
So this, what we intend is an end-to-end space ecosystem from materials all the way through to launching and the launch service. As you've said, we'll be launching from a seaborne platform out in the Atlantic Ocean, and then once we understand everything that we're doing and doing it correctly and doing it properly, then we'll take it out around the world and launch from various other nations around the world in different oceans.
So just talk us a little bit more about why you are launching at sea then. Why not from a good old-fashioned launch pad, Paul?
Seaborne launch is maritime is what we're good at here. As an island race, we've always done things pretty well at sea. I'm sure you'll have gone back through your history lessons to take a look at the Spanish Armada and things like that. We've got a history of doing good stuff at sea, and the seaborne solution, more than anything else, offers us flexibility and it offers us safety. It's quite clear that the finite boundaries of a ship give us a much better periphery to protect than a few open fields, And we can also choose which way we launch, and we can generally go and find the weather, which is more important around the UK, of course. So if it's peeing it down with rain in Southwest Ireland when we get there, we'll go out a bit further to the Atlantic and launch from there.
So how far down the line are you to getting up there?
We're still in funding mode, financing mode, but we should have some pretty exciting news in a very short period of time.
Now, yes, when you spoke to me, you said that the fruit, it looks like it's just ripe and about to drop. Or
COVID came along.
Oh.
We had a Middle Eastern investment partner all ready to sign the papers. The pen was poised, and somebody had a bit of a sneeze, and they decided to take everything back to their own country, which was a disaster. It wasn't a disaster, to be honest. Looking back, if we'd have signed that bit of paper, we wouldn't have been able to do anything for a year, and we've had an investor who wouldn't have been very happy that we hadn't done anything. So now we're coming out. Now we're lifting lockdown and getting through different phases of freedom. Then we now have two substantial investment routes that we can look at equally, and hopefully, as I say, we'll have some pretty exciting news in a very short period of time.
So whereabouts are you based, Paul?
At the moment, we're in Wiltshire, but we will be based hopefully in Oxfordshire. There's a centre in Oxfordshire that we're taking a serious look at. It all depends on the funding, of course, but we do have one or two different areas, and that will be for the technical center, which we hope to have all of the upstream technologies developed in, and then we'll be delivering rocket stages and various paraphernalia to the Port Talbot Space Centre in South Wales, which is an ideal place and location to have the seaborne space fleet, we're calling it. We're not allowed to call it a spaceport because the term spaceport is defined in the Space Industry Act. So we were warned off using that term. So we had to find something else. And calling from Star Trek, I thought I might as well call it a Starfleet. And then I thought that sounds a bit poncy, so we'll use Space Fleet instead. So the Space Fleet will be housed in the Deepwater Harbour at Port Talbot, and the landowner and the local council are all over this. They absolutely love the idea of having Black Arrow and our services company Global Orbital operating out of Port Talbot in the not too distant future.
And what a massive boost to the area. For
sure. I mean, for those of you who don't know, Port Talbot is a great centre anyway. It's huge in fabrication and manufacturing in the South Wales region. And we will be calling on all of those supply chains, all of those material experts down there. Remember, Bridgend had an engine plant down there until recently, a huge one. And there's an awful lot of renewables going on down there. So it's not devoid of technical prowess and expertise. And we're just going to focus something new down there, which is really exciting for us anyway. Doesn't seem to be exciting for anybody else. But me.
I'm really excited because I live on Anglesey, which is, it's not really Port Talbot, but it's a similar kind of, it's a Wales area that would really benefit from an outfit like Black Arrow being there.
Absolutely. So Wales is underdeveloped as far as space is concerned. And us being in Port Talbot is going to spread like blood along a vein in South Wales, certainly. And we'll have test centres in Mid Wales, and that will then trickle up to North Wales and to all of the regions next to it. You know, the west of England, Southern Ireland, Northern Ireland, the Isle of Man, they will all benefit from an active Black Arrow in the area.
We love that. We love that. Now, in the little song that I wrote, there was a mention of meow F1 connections. What's this?
Well, we have been very fortunate in having a management team that's based in Formula One. Our chief technical officer has 6 World Drivers' Championships under his belt, as well as 6 World Constructors' Championships. He's worked for a number of Formula One teams and also NASA and a few others along the way. He understands materials, and that's more important than anything else. Composites is a huge growth area. You know, there's the introduction of graphenes and nanotubes, which we've spoken about for a while, but nobody really knows where those limits are, what you can do with them. And it turns out almost on a daily basis that you can do some fantastic things to make your materials stronger, more conductive, more insulative, more, you know, the world's our oyster really for finding out what we can do with composites. And it's really exciting. And just on that point, I'd like to say that our engines, which is the main part of a launch vehicle, are also entirely composite and carbon ceramic matrix. There's no metals in them at all, and they are just the dogs as far as space engines are concerned.
The dog's composites,
if you like.
So Melinda is asking then, is it sort of a spacecraft carrier instead of an aircraft carrier? And for passenger flights, does it have a little pilot shuttle to take them out to the launch?
That's a really nice idea. I would say, though, that we're not dealing with manned space. The jump up from basic, let's say, space flight processes to manned space is a huge jump. It's a quantum jump. You can't just put a man in the top of a rocket and send him off to space. There is an enormous amount of extra work to do, and the launch vehicle has to be so reliable. You know, Jeff Bezos, he's just taken his first flight, and it's taken him 10 years to put that together. So this is the kind of, and I don't have 20 billion to spend on putting 4 men into a
That's not what
low orbit.
That's not what the clanger told me, Paul.
As far as the vessel design is concerned, you'll have seen them if you've been to the coast. We're modifying a dry bulk carrier to carry our integration workshops and the propellant storage with a launch table on top, and then the rockets will be situated in the workshops underneath. And when we get out to the launch site, they'll come up on a lift onto a strong back and onto the table and launched. So Space Launch, I should mention also, Space Launch, they were around in the mid-90s, and they had a couple of really fancy vessels that were a converted semi-submersible oil rig and a purpose-built command ship. They were kitted out in Scotland, and we, our naval architect team, based in Douglas and the Isle of Man, are the same people who were in charge of that kit out. So we've obviously got the right team on board, but we're not spending billions on very fanciful ships. We're using what we have, and the dry bulk carrier it suits our purposes for now.
That's a great question, Libby. Thank you. It's not Libby. Libby's one of your wise ambassadors, isn't she?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
So I meant Melinda, sorry. So tell us about, now when I visited you at your stand at the space conference, you had Rachel and Libby with you. Tell us about your wise ambassadors.
So WISE is the Women in Space Engineering. It's an outreach program that we have, and we were lucky enough to get 5 individuals coming out from MSc or going into BSc in Livy's case. Liv was doing physics BSc in Bristol. She's now doing a master's. Rachel was doing BSc in chemistry at Reading when I met her. She just finished her PhD in University of South Wales. There are some very talented people out there, extraordinarily talented people, and we're very keen to make sure there's no lines drawn between gender or race or creed or anything like that in our business.
There's just so much to love about Black Arrow. I'm very partial to your brand, Paul. How's Bill? How's Bill? Is Bill watching? Hi, Bill. Miss you.
Is he watching? Do you know?
I don't know. I'm not sure yet. He should be, shouldn't he? Keeping his eye on you.
Yeah, but it's past his bedtime, so maybe he hasn't made it.
Wake up, Bill. So yeah, big love to Bill. Okay, now then, Paul, thank you so much. That was your interview main section over. We've got a couple of little curveballs to throw at you then. We have got the light speed round. You have got 1 minute to answer as many questions as you can. Now, these aren't quiz questions.
Right.
These are just general questions. Yeah, he can help you.
Can he?
He can help you.
Well, I'm not sure he can. He's not that smart. But...
He's got a woolly little brain. I am going to ask you about 6 questions and just answer them off the top of your head. It's so we can get to know you better, Paul. I want to know what's happening in your brilliant head there. Okay, are you ready?
Go on.
You're on a return trip to Mars with one other person. Who's your crewmate?
David Bowie.
Oh, that's cool. Aliens?
What?
Aliens? No. Okay. Prove the Earth isn't round.
Jeff Bezos has just done it.
Okay. Tell us about.
Sorry, he's just demonstrated that it is round. I should have said.
There we go. Yeah. Tell us about the best shooting star you've ever seen.
Now, this is a great story. I was driving back from southern Germany up over the mountains, going into Luxembourg and Belgium, and I stopped at a car park right on top. The sky was absolutely dark and the stars were brilliant. And I was watching the sky, just as you do, because there was nothing else to watch. And I was passed by what you may know as a fizzer. It's what I call a fizzer. It's a meteorite that comes by, and because of the sparks and the emissions out the back, it almost feels and hears as if it's going.
Oh yeah, you know? I know
and
that.
It was a fantastic experience. And I didn't see where it went or anything like that, but it was a great experience.
What does it say on your favorite mug?
Best dad in the world.
Oh, that's cute. What would you say? What would you say to your younger self?
Aim high.
That's a good one. And finally,
aim high, don't stop.
That's a really good one. And finally, favorite planet?
Jupiter.
Ah.
It's my birth planet.
Okay, there we go.
My first company was called Ganymede Systems.
Oh, right. So you really do like Jupiter then?
Yeah, it's a fantastic view of the sky. It's so powerful. It's so protective of the Earth. You know, it acts as the barrier against all of these. Oh, he is. There we go.
Hello, Bill. We got him out of bed.
Yeah, Jupiter plays a huge role in all of our lives. You know, as we saw with the collision of that comet way back when, Schumacher-Levy.
He's the big old Hoover bag of the solar system.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. And without Jupiter, we'd be a lot worse off.
Oh, wow. Yeah, absolutely. Right. Well done, Paul. You have passed all of your tests. You've got one more to go, though. So now I'm going to introduce Victor and Valentin of B2Space. You haven't dealt with these two before, so I thought it might be nice just to say hello to them. In the absence of face-to-face networking, you know, the best I can do is bring you together on a live video stream.
This is as good as it gets, right?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, absolutely. So here we go. Here comes everyone. Wow, that's a lot of people on my screen. Let's have a look here. And here is...
Hello.
Hi, everyone.
How are you?
Hi.
So I haven't met you guys before. Which one's which?
So I'm Valentin from B2Space.
Yeah, there's Valentin and Victor. Hi. You must be Victor because you're the other one.
Yeah, I'm Victor. Apologize. I have my second job today and it took me longer in the queue than expected, so I have to stop in the car and I haven't reached home before the event.
Oh, well, thank you for pulling over to have a chat with us. Now, I don't know whether you saw it earlier, but I made Paul a song about Black Arrow, and I've got a song for B2Space as well. Would you like to see it?
Yes, sure.
Okay, now, a couple of years ago, I went to a festival and I saw the German electronic act Kraftwerk, and I waited my whole life to see Kraftwerk. I love them. And you know what? They didn't make me dance, and they were very middle of the road. And a friend said to me, Vicky, there was no drop in the music. There was no moment where the music stopped and everyone went crazy. So
that was just the echo in your ears.
Is it echoing?
No, that was just the echo in your ears that it didn't sound like it stopped.
So now B2Space, Victor, just give us a little brief introduction about the B2Space balloon rocket concept, and then I'll play the tune.
Yeah, well, B2Space actually born with the idea to facilitate the access to space, no? And that's how, after some iterations and some thoughts on how we can make that easily, we came out with this idea inspired by the jump from Alex Van Hoven from Red Bull Stratos. And why not to take this high altitude balloon to the stratosphere, lifting a rocket to up to 35 kilometers of altitude from where we deploy a rocket. This way we reduce most of the fuel consumed by the traditional rocket, skipping the highest density part of the atmosphere and making a most efficient and low-cost access to small and micro satellite.
Brilliant. Okay, so what I'll do, I'm going to play your tune, and then you three can chat amongst yourselves for just a couple of minutes, and then we'll come back and we'll do the B2Space interview, okay? Are you ready? Here it comes. So you're ready for the drop? Here it comes. Where's my magic button on here? Share video file. And here is the B2Space tune. Never mind business to business. This is B2Space, floating a balloon to the edge of space. Then they'll release that rocket. Come on, let's drop it. Are you ready for the drop?
B2Space can prioritize, customize, no payload orbit with no compromise. Check, check, let's wreck the launch bottleneck. Check, check, let's wreck the launch bottleneck.
Rocking with the rocking, rocking with the rocking with the rocking with the rock, rocking with the rock, and floating serenely up through the stratosphere. They skip the thickest part of the atmosphere. Come on, let's drop it. Are you ready for the rocket? Get ready for the drop.
Check, 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 let's wreck the launch bottleneck. Check, check, let's wreck the launch bottleneck.
And with the Calibri program in full swing, well, space lovers, here's the thing. B2Space may be the winners of the UK space race. Woo! How was that?
That was so cool.
I love it. That was incredible.
Did you like it?
Thank you
Are
very
you
much.
ready for the drop?
Oh, was that you, Vicky?
That's
I'd
me.
never have guessed.
Well, where else are you going to find a sassy female vocalist who sings
true.
and raps about space?
Yeah, true enough.
Very good, very good. I'm glad you liked it. Just a bit of fun. I just thought I'd let you. I'm going to disappear from the stream and go and get more water, and you three can have a quick chat. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to basically exchange digital business cards.
That's great.
Thank you.
I think we're already connected on LinkedIn, fellas, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so. And I think that probably we met at some point, but very briefly, probably in the 2019 Space Conference as well. We had a stand as well. And I think it was quite close to yourself.
Yeah, perhaps. Yeah, we were up on the mezzanine. Were you there?
Okay.
But
We were in the startup zone.
you were at Spacecom last week or 2 weeks ago as well, right?
No, in Spacecom, no, because we were doing some flight tests, but unfortunately we couldn't join because of that.
Okay, how did they go?
Went very good, to be honest. Thank you. We flew to the stratosphere 3 balloons in 3 consecutive flights in 2 weeks. So it was quite nice, testing all systems, getting ready for our, let's say, next milestones. So yeah, very happy on the.
Good.
We actually maybe saw us in the event because I think Welsh government has played some of our videos, so we sent some of our videos. So maybe we have some present there, but virtually.
Yeah, and ours too. We wanted to make sure that they represented us correctly, and we found the video was the best thing. In fact, the video is probably the best thing we've done today. It's.
We maybe now use this wrap for the next one. So for the next conference, instead of our video, we use the new one.
So where are you doing all your manufacturing? I know you have operations in the UK. Are you building anything in the UK or not?
So we have our headquarters in Newport at the moment. That's where we have all of our employees. We are getting as well our new workshops as well in Newport. Yeah. But then we are working with different manufacturing partners in the UK, but in Europe as well. So, for example, we work with companies in Hampshire as well to get some composite manufacturing. We work as well with other local suppliers for other steel components. So yeah, I mean, at the moment we are ramping up our manufacturing capacities. As up to now, we have been mainly working with our partners in terms of getting those manufacturing capabilities for us.
Cool. So hopefully in a year or so, we'll have some pretty useful IP for you to draw on.
Yeah, and as well, I heard that you are as well going to move your production as well to Port Talbot. That's right.
Yes. Yeah. So the production of the initial the smaller rocket stages will be in Oxfordshire, and it'll stay in Oxfordshire. But the facility we have in mind is not big enough for the scale up, which will be a 5-ton to LEO vehicle, and that will need to be moved to Port Talbot to a new facility down there.
That's good. And as well, do you have your basically your ship as well in Port Talbot?
Yeah. There'll be a secure dockside complex there, which will have a VAB and a payload preparation facility, hazardous facility. All of those will be in the complex, just behind Tata, between Tata Steelworks and the dockside there. There's plenty of room.
That's really cool.
If you want to move to Port Talbot, there's also plenty of room down there for other activities. Like yours.
No, but that's something interesting just to have in mind, in the way
that we want to create the Port Talbot Space Centre. We don't just want it to be us. We want it to benefit as much of the sector as possible. And I think if anybody, if any company wants to come in and build satellites or rockets or have operations down there, avionics, manufacturing facilities, anything like that, we can put them all in the same campus, and we can come to some agreement around the secure perimeter and we can all operate at the same space.
It's good to have these technological clusters as well, so we can create synergies, exchange technology resources, which is always positive as well to fit.
Yeah, I mean, if you're in Newport, you probably know that South Wales region is very high in manufacturing, fabrication, and materials, and we just need to develop that that capability more for space as opposed to automotive and aerospace.
That's also part of our strategy, as Valentin said. So it's not only our manufacturing capabilities, but also the network around us. So we are not doing this alone. We use many partners, that are leading in different sectors, and as we grow, even what we can be seen as competitors, so we're trying to collaborate as much as we can. At the end, it will facilitate all reaching space.
Yeah, and Vicky was talking about the space race. I don't see it as a space race. I think we can, in the UK, we can corner quite a good share of the market, the small sat and nanosat, microsat, CubeSat market, especially from Europe, and we will have to work together in that. There's no real alternative to that. So it's not a one person wins space race. The race is getting the UK back into space successfully.
And getting this kind of launch sovereignty as well back, so not depend on third countries, and have as well this technology available because I mean, as you mentioned, I think that we are, let's say, witnessing the first step of a new space era. So more and more things will be done in space. So yeah, we need as well this launch capacity, and we need as many launch companies to succeed as possible.
Yeah, I mean, they have to meet metrics on reliability and on cost and on credibility, but there is plenty of room for synergies within all of the players, including Raptor and the other smaller launchers as well, more importantly, and we can all work together to bring together the blossoming UK space sector. Remember that the UK's been in space since the 1950s. We were one of the founders, really, of the exploitation of the orbital space. We shouldn't lose sight of that. And we have a long heritage. It was all started, of course, by Black Arrow.
Yes.
So Melinda says the British Interplanetary Society is in the process of setting up a Wales branch. So happy to support links between everyone and them if interested. Oh, maybe this is where, I think Melinda's working on that. So Melinda is one to watch, definitely there.
So I'd just like to ask Melinda, why is it taking you so long?
I think she's fairly brand new to space. Melinda works in ergonomics at the minute, and I think she's so, Melinda, welcome on board to the space sector.
Vicky, are you going to do a plug for all of us at the end about contact details or things, or is there something up?
Oh, well, I'll tell you what we could do. What's the best way for people to get in touch with you, Paul? I'll drop it into the comments.
Probably my LinkedIn profile.
Okay, you carry on chatting, and I'll do so. You carry on chatting. I'll get your LinkedIn contact details and drop them into the chat.
The same is true of Valentin and Victor. Don't forget them.
Of course. I'm totally impartial.
Or stick it on the show at the end rather than fiddle about.
Okay, I'll stick it on. I'll stick it onto the description in the feed.
The reason is there's a lot of interest here, which is fantastic. It's these kind of shows that get out to our audiences and our followers and all the people who are interested. And something I haven't mentioned, but it is an extension of our WISE program, is that we will be having a space academy in South Wales. It won't be a purpose-built space academy, but it will be helping schools teach space using us as a kind of interlocutor,
That's really cool. That's so cool. That's amazing news, Paul. Okay. So Paul's B2Space's LinkedIn details will be in the description of this video upcoming, and feel free to join them. LinkedIn is an amazing way to connect, and they're very responsive, and they'd love to hear from you.
Yes.
How's that, Paul?
Oh yes, Vicky, that was great.
Yeah,
Well
great
done.
stuff. All right, Paul. Well, I'll let you go and have your mug of cocoa now.
Mm-hmm.
And
can I hang around?
Oh, you can if you want.
I've got nothing better to do. You see, I've been shut up in this office for 3 years. Another 10 minutes isn't going to help. Isn't going to hurt.
Okay, sure. Well, in that case, then, well, yeah. So let me have a think how I'm going to do this then. Well, just stay on then. Just stay on. I've just got a couple of comments here. Space Academy, how exciting! Yeah. Blue Streak rocket was developed by English Electric and the English Electric Lightning. Great to see everyone pooling resources and working together.
I don't know where the lightning comes in on that, but it was English Electric, the Royal Aerospace Society, and Westland who put together the Blue Streak, and Black Arrow was a de Havilland construct.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you. Thank you for that great comment, Jed. Okay, so what we're going to do now is talk about B2Space. Just to save us all talking at the same time, we'll just take it in turns to answer the questions. So, Valentin, you are first on my list. Tell us what B2Space is doing, please.
Well, I mean, as well, Victor introduced it a little bit before, but what we are doing is basically making the first working raccoon ever done. So the raccoon is a concept that was first proposed by the American Navy, and as you explained well as well in your rap, in your song, basically it consists of a very large stratospheric balloon and a rocket. As well, we skip the highest density part of the atmosphere and we launch them from our rocket. So, I mean, this concept, it is very good, but obviously, let's say it is not as easy as it sounds. So up to now, no one has been able to achieve, let's say, a working raccoon because they didn't solve the main technical challenges that were behind this. So basically, the first one, the most important one is, well, controlling and predicting where the balloon is going to travel. So you make sure that your balloon goes to where it should go and you launch your rocket where you should be launching it. The second one is as well having this kind of launch control, so being able to point the rocket into the right direction. We don't want to be shooting the rocket into London or to other places. So as well, this is a very important part. And then adapting to operate in the stratosphere. It's not the same launching a rocket from the ground than launching it from almost space. Basically, it is freezing temperatures, very high radiation, so we need to adapt everything. So at the moment, we are working very hard on our prototype. So of all of the systems, the launch platform, the rocket, the balloons, and we have the intention of basically this between the end of the summer or early on the third quarter of the year, we're performing a demonstration flight of our full system that basically will see us reach space, really. So we are going to launch a balloon up to 25 kilometers, and from there we are going to deploy a rocket that will achieve just above the Kármán line. So we will achieve 100 kilometers. That means that, yeah, if everything goes good, we are going to be, let's say, the first company since Black Arrow, the first, let's say, UK company since Black Arrow to reach space.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's very exciting. So how will the balloon, Victor, how will the, on the song that I made, it shows the rocket kind of launching very sedately from the top of, from the harness under the balloon. What happens next?
Yeah, well, actually, we have to be honest. On the video that we have, was a kind of recreation and doesn't show the actual design. That is the IP protected design. But actually, this comes like in a kind of missile launcher platform. So it's like this platform that Valentin mentioned that pointing, positioning, and stabilize this rocket. So actually, you initiate this 3-stage rocket from that platform in the right directions, and from there is 3-stage rocket, so 3 different separation moments which reach to the orbit selected for the satellite. When it arrives, also we saw in your video, in the cut of your video, so the satellite disattaches from the rocket and gets into orbit, into the operational environment, and that's basically how we make our taxi to the space.
So currently, if you launch a payload satellite, you tend to be second fiddle, as it were. You're not the priority launch. to the main launch, and that can mean that your orbit is compromised. But with your Raccoon concept, it means that you can get your payloads into a specific place for your clients.
Yeah, that was the main pain point, no, that we detected in the sector, that you have to go a secondary payload. So basically, you have to go wherever the main satellite goes, whenever it goes. So if there is delays because there is a big development of a large satellite and can take delays, so your launch windows will be delayed as well. So and as well, they will leave you on the way, no? It's like basically asking in the road where you go, no, and leave me in the way, no. And in this way, we are just dedicating a launcher for small satellites, so they can be used by their own, selecting the orbit, the launch windows, and don't have any design constraint, no, because they cannot look dangerous for the main satellite, no. They cannot innovate too much with new batteries because it may explode and damage the large satellite, etc. So in this way, you can do whatever you want. Is your own drive.
So Paul is actually asking what happens to the balloon after launch then.
So the balloon after that, after the mission is finished, what we do is send a command to deflate the balloon. The main gondola carrying the launch platform is detached from the balloon and lands with a guided parachute. And then as well, the balloon slowly descends back. We recover it and recycle it.
Yes, because they look like big balloons.
Yeah, very big.
Really, really big balloons. So, okay, that's pretty amazing. So one of the things that I mentioned in the song was check. Let's wreck. God, it took me ages to get this right yesterday. Check. Let's wreck the launch bottleneck. We have a launch bottleneck in the UK. Tell us about that.
Yeah, well, basically it's worldwide, no? So the miniaturization and the electronics improvement that has been done up to now, no, is making much more affordable and new uses of satellite. So the growth of these small satellites is exponentially. So almost new solutions and new ideas are coming out to the market. The problem is that they cannot get into the operational environment, so to their operational place to be, no, and that's why we try to increase the capability, no, the launch capability, and also is what Paul says before, no. So we don't see it as a race, because actually we are not racing between each other, as it will be room for many launchers in the market as the small satellite industry is growing exponentially worldwide, no. So the race is more between ourselves, so to get a operational launcher into the market, and still will be a bottleneck even if quite a few of us are in the market.
Wow. Okay. So tell us a little bit more about the story, Valentin, of how B2Space started.
Well, to be honest, the founders of B2Space, we always had this kind of entrepreneur spirit. So, and we had a very good interest on the space industry. We were following it quite actively. So from the beginnings of SpaceX, as well Blue Origin, and all of the amazing things they were doing. And as well, it may sound as a cliche, but basically all of the idea and the concept came on a pub. So I had to take my car to the MOT and ask Victor to drive me there as well while we were waiting. So we went there having lunch at a pub. And there's where we saw this video from Red Bull Stratos. We were having our burgers. And then as well, we saw as well how basically Felix Baumgartner jumped from 36 kilometers of altitude from the stratosphere. And Victor and I looked to ourselves and said, what if we put a rocket beneath the balloon? Like first, like a crazy idea, but that was the seed that then started to do, let's say, the real numbers. See that basically you can achieve a lot of savings by basically removing all of the aerodynamic drag. Basically, you can save a lot of propellant, like 70% of propellant, reduce the cost massively, and have a much more efficient launch vehicle. So that was the seed of the project, and how then we started preparing our business plan, our technical case, started presenting these in different events, and step by step, then we started to grow. So we received our first funding from the UK Space Agency, then we obtained further support from the European Space Agency, Welsh government, private investors, and well, up to now, after that, 4 or 5 years ago, now we started the 4 founders. Now we have 15 full-time employees, growing to this year to more than 30. So yeah, what started as a crazy idea, a crazy conversation in a pub, has ended up in a very successful project that, yeah, we'll see us reaching space very soon.
Yay, that's such a great story. I love the idea of you sitting in the pub and watching the Red Bull launch. Was it Felix Baumgartner?
Yes, it was. Yeah, so we were basically, there was a replay of that. I don't know exactly why they were putting that on TV, because it had happened like 4 years before that, in 2012, I believe. And yeah, and it was something like quite impressive, and it was like a revelation moment, to be honest, when we discussed about this option.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Such an elegant way to get to space as well. Just drifting up in a balloon and then just zipping away like that. We've got a comment here from John Wally. Hi, John. Good evening, Vicky, Paul, Valentin, and Victor. Good session, which will be of interest to all of our Space Wales members. Hello, Space Wales, and the wider space community in Wales. So I'm based on Anglesey, which is, I'm trying to make it an outpost of the UK space sector, to be honest. I debated long and hard about moving back to Cheshire to the traffic, but that's where all my friends and family are. But I've made my mind up to stay and to make my mark in North Wales and put Anglesey on the map as well as a fantastic place for space investment and the Space Tourism Society, which I am now running. And yeah, hopefully, when are Victor and Valentin thinking of coming to Llanbedr?
Well, I mean, we go quite often to Llanbedr. So let's say 2 weeks ago, we were there doing one of our flights. So we work quite closely with the spaceport team over there, with the Snowdonia spaceport team, because it is a great location for us to perform many of our tests and activities. So yeah, I mean, we were 2 weeks ago, well, 2 or 3 weeks ago there, and we will be going there soon enough. So then, yeah, I mean, once we are there, we should for sure meet.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's such an exquisitely beautiful part of the world, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And I think, just now you mentioned Anglesey. Our first balloon launch was recovered in Anglesey. So we launched it from Llanbedr, did a short trip, and landed over there.
I'll look out for you next time you blow over. Because in Llanbedr, that is where Shell Island is, which is, I think, Europe's biggest campsite.
Yes, they're one of the biggest campsites over there. So sometimes not the best supporters of the spaceport, but
yeah.
I think it's a lovely place, and I'm sure that activities such as our balloons, for example, that are just so beautiful when you see them launch it. I'm sure that the campists will be more than happy to see us there.
Oh my gosh, absolutely, yeah. And you can come and stay down in Shell Island and watch a raccoon launch.
Yeah, and
Exactly.
actually, this is we saw some people are maybe afraid of that change, no, and but are things like us, no, that can be combined and bring even more talents and new skill jobs in the area, no. So we have to see it as an opportunity, no, and we have seen then the contrary, no, the other side, that there is a lot of supporters, no, and well, John was there posting, and he's a good friend now, no, that we made along the journey with many other people from Wales and the UK, no, and that's the most important part, no, that we started this story as two friends in a pub, no, that it grows, but we see that in this sector we are meeting a lot of friends and passionate in the sector, no. So before we see new people jumping into the area because they are interested, they may be not engineers or not coming from aerospace engineers, but they do great, no, because we see a lot of attention and a new era, no, as Valentin mentioned before. As aerospace was maybe for our grandfathers and grandparents and parents, no. Now for the new generation is the space.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry, just to hijack the conversation here, Paul. I'm just going to unmute you. You've just mentioned animated technology. There we go, Paul. Shout out for Animated Technologies at MSpark in Anglesey, who made your beautiful animation video.
They did. They did the video. They did the website. They did an awful lot of our early PR effort, and I can't recommend them enough. They were a great team. They did everything we wanted them to, and the result can be seen on the website www.blackarrow-space.uk.
It's a very nice website with a very nice animation, isn't it?
It is brilliant, and a lot of those things you put in the video were stills from that video.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for letting me use that video. M-Spark at Anglesey, Menai Science Park. It's about half an hour drive from me here. It's kind of like this insanely beautiful white facade, unusual space-looking building with the huge, big linear windows looking out onto Snowdonia. It's an amazing place to be inspired. It's an amazing place to work. So big shout out for M-Spark on Anglesey. Have you been there, Paul?
I haven't. No, I've been invited a couple of times, but it is, 3.5 hours from me. It's a bit of a tug.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, maybe you'll make it there. Have you been, Victor and Valentin?
To Anglesey?
To Menai Science Park.
No, sorry, not myself.
Oh, let me see if I can get a picture of it up. Menai Science Park. I might just be able to, if I just do a very brief screen share, and you can have a look at how. Wow, it's so cool! It's the most wonderful concept building. I don't know whether I'm going to be able to do this, but let me have a look. Share screen and Chrome tab. Menai Science Park. Let's have a look. It might just come up, so you can see that that beautiful,
very beautiful building.
It's an exquisite building. It really is out in the middle of nowhere. It's in kind of fields surrounded by wildflowers and agriculture. But that big, wide expanse of glass frames the Snowdonia mountain range. And Snowdonia is undoubtedly the adventure playground of Europe.
Yeah, very, very nice place, yeah.
We will all have to meet for coffee at Menai Science Park. Okay, so Paul, we're going to say goodbye to. Oh, hang on, I've got rid of him. Didn't mean to do that. Paul, we're gonna say goodbye to everybody now. So we're gonna keep Victor and Valentin on just for one more minute, and so say goodnight to the gentleman, Paul.
So good night, fellas. Nice to have met you, and we will bump into each other at some point, I'm sure.
Very good, very good. Paul, thank you so much for coming on. Big love to Bill as well, and everybody, all the WISE ambassadors who are all on holiday at the minute, working
they're all on holiday, or they're doing the dissertations for their masters. They couldn't spare any time at all, sadly.
Oh, wow. Well, good luck, everybody, and good luck, Black Arrow, most importantly.
Indeed. Okay.
You're going to rock it. See you later.
Take it easy. Bye-bye.
Goodbye. There we go. Just the three of us. So, gentlemen, I don't know whether you saw what I did with Paul before, but we did a little rapid fire question round where you had to answer some really easy, fun, inspirational questions. So who would like to answer? I'm going to pick Valentin. Valentin, I'm going to pick you to answer a couple of questions. These are nice questions and they are fun. You've got 60 seconds to answer as many as you can. How's that? So we can get to know you better. Okay, are you ready? Let me just wet my whistle. Okay, are you ready? Here we go. You are on a Mars cruise, a return Mars mission with one other person. Who is your crewmate?
I will go with Victor, obviously.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I'm glad to see that you're still best friends.
We are.
Prove that the Earth isn't round.
Well, we took a photo of it from the stratosphere, and we could see that it was flat.
Oh no! Tell us about the best shooting star you've ever seen.
Best shooting star I've ever seen. So probably was in Norway back in 2013. We were basically hunting for the Northern Lights, and as well there was a very nice shooting stars episode that night as well before the Northern Lights, and it was great. It was lovely.
Okay, excellent, great, and a wonderful place to see a shooting star. What does it say on your favorite mug?
Go on, keep pushing.
Yes, come on, that's great. Mine says good morning, gorgeous. What's your favorite planet?
Earth, the only one we can live it at the moment.
Oh, I always forget that Earth is a completely valid answer.
Yeah.
I always like Saturn, Mercury. I do like Mercury, soft spot for Mercury. Victor, what would you say to your younger self?
Just try.
Just try. Yeah, that's powerful, really. Yeah. Oh, God, I wish I could rewind and speak to my younger self. I'd have some serious words with myself. Victor, why space?
It's the next frontier, no? So we need to break it.
Excellent. Very good answers. Okay, that's it. You're done.
Good.
Thank you. I hope you enjoyed your show, and I'll send you the song.
Perfect. Thank you as well for the show. It has been very, very fun and interesting. And yeah, looking forward as well to watch all of your next shows.
Oh, great. Thank you so much. And I'll see you when you come to North Wales. And that is for sure.
That's sure.
Excellent. Okay. Good night, gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
Oh, that's so nice. I know when I spoke to Valentin the other day for the testing the call, it was when it's cooled down here quite a lot. In fact, I think I've just heard rain outside for the first time in weeks, and it was about 26 degrees here, and it was a hot day. And I spoke to Valentin, in Spain, and it was 38 degrees. I just felt so bad. I felt so bad for them. Let's have a look here. Good to meet you, Melinda. Yes, Wales is open to all and open for space business. Valentin Victor hail from Spain originally. We want them, the best players from around the world, to build a great team. Thank you for that. Absolutely, John. I've lived in several countries and keep being drawn back to Wales, so can appreciate other people loving it too. Yeah, tell me about it. I've been here for about 7 years, and it just is the best place I've ever visited. So isn't that good? Thank you, Ian. Great show, Vicky. Really interesting guests. And no, how good are they? They're so exciting, aren't they? Right, we're on to our fourth guest now. It's Izzy. Izzy, I'm coming to you in 3, 2, 1. Izzy, hi.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, thank you. I love your backdrop. It's great.
Acoustic panels.
Oh, you must do a lot of broadcasting then.
I do. I am a Toastmaster, and in addition to a bunch of other things.
What does a Toastmaster do?
Talk, speak on camera. And this last year, we've got a lot of practice on doing it Zoom. Usually we do in person. I've been speaking for, about 10 years now.
Really? What kind of stuff do you speak about?
Marketing.
Oh, right. Okay. Well, obviously.
The first time I started speaking, I ended up all over the state. I live in Kentucky, United States, and I would start from one end of the state, go all the way to the next, talking and teaching people about marketing. I've worked with over 600 businesses at this point.
Wow, Izzy, that's so good. Now, I mean, I've been doing marketing for 20 years, but not on the level that you do it. And the space stuff is relatively new for me. So this is why we've got you on. Would you like to tell me a little bit about what you do?
Well, at the moment, I just finished putting the last final touch on my book, Space Marketing. I'm very excited. Several years ago, I had a moment in front of the Atlanta Space Shuttle where I realized, and I don't know why I didn't realize this before, but that I could combine both my passions, space and marketing, into one thing. And from that point on, I put my focus towards that, and hence a book is born.
Okay, so I do space marketing, but after speaking to you, I've realized I need to read your book. Why is it so important that these companies, and I'm going to be honest with you, a lot of companies, I can look at their website and just go, they've got a website up and that is the extent of their marketing. That is what they consider to be marketing. And it's so much deeper than that. It's so integral, and it's definitely not an afterthought, is it?
No, it is a part of your DNA, or it should be. Back when I first began marketing, I was a business in an incubator, and this incubator was focused on technology businesses. In this incubator, I met some brilliant, just brilliant inventors that had all kinds of stuff that would make this world a better place. But they were so intent on their product that they never let anybody know about it. One of my sayings is, nobody can give you an opportunity if they don't know you exist. And these inventors, no one knew they existed, even though they had something phenomenal. A lot of your aerospace and space companies are run by these brilliant inventors, these brilliant engineers, that it's all about the science. The marketing part, that's sales, and it's more than that. It's not just sales. A lot of times they'll assign it to somebody to check that mark and have that website up by the time the grant comes out. But with the new changes in space, that's no longer going to be effective. You have to learn how to play the marketing platform. You have to know how to do it, or else you won't be picked for those grants. You won't be picked for those contracts or investments. And somebody else that does something a little different than you but solves the same problem will be selected because they look like they know what they're doing. And marketing makes you look like you know what you're doing. It gives you confidence when you go forward. It's like showing up to a meeting in a pinstripe suit. You know, you just versus flip-flops and a Hawaiian shirt.
Oh God, that's nearly me today, but it is quite a hot day here.
So who would you give the money to? Would you give it to the guy in the flip-flops that's not talking to you, that's ignoring you? And that's basically what people are doing when they're not paying attention to their audience. They're ignoring them. They're saying, what I have is so important, and look at me. It's not about you, which if you're an investor, you want somebody to be a partner, and they need to look that part. And that's marketing.
Oh, you're going to make my job so much easier. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get my hands on your book. I'm just going to I think I will probably buy the book for people. That's a great way to get people thinking on your wavelength, is just to hand them a marketing book. I have done it before. I can't wait until it's out. So it's called Space Marketing, Competing in the New Commercial Space Industry, hopefully launched in October
1st. Well, it is pretty much, like I said, I have the final touches on it. It's in the hands right now of another author that is doing a forward for me. And I can't wait to release that name because he's one of my heroes. Ooh. I'm so excited that he's agreed to do this. But as soon as that's done, I'm halfway through the Audible because I know how important Audible is.
Yes.
And so I'm planning on having both of them out as soon as possible. But October 1st is the official launch date.
So, Izzy, you mentioned, I said when we chatted earlier today, because you were my last minute guest, and thank you very much for that I felt that some of the UK space companies were a little bit behind with their marketing. And I said, oh, she couldn't be like that in America. And you said, yes, it is.
It very much is. Like I said.
Tell us what it's like out there then.
Well, you have NASA. And a lot of people think that space, that's, outreach and public relations and education, that's all NASA does. And let me tell you, NASA has done a wonderful job of marketing. And if you want to study a company on how to market, that's the one to choose. But a lot of people have kind of gotten to where they don't think that they have to do it since NASA's doing it. But here's the thing. NASA is stepping away from that game. They're going to be customers, not the main thing now. And you have, last time I checked, it was 72 different countries that are starting their own space program. NASA is not the only player in town. And all these countries are pouring money into their country to get a slice of the space pie. Do you think that there's going to be quite a bit of opportunities to choose more than one lander? Absolutely. So you have to make sure you're the one picked. And NASA isn't going to be that golden ticket anymore.
It's not at all, no. Let's talk about maybe the 3 most important things that a space company could do to make sure that their marketing is prima for when somebody checks them out.
Website, number 1 website, and make sure that you have beautiful images. NASA does provide images that you can use of, how incredible is Earthscapes and stars and moons and and it's all there, free to use. You dress up your website with pictures. Make sure that you have keywords. Make sure you are posting articles on your website so that you can be found. Educate people about what it is you do. Not necessarily the features of what you do, but the benefits of the audience. Teach them why they need you. Do videos, images, and get on social media and educate. Education-based marketing is one of the most powerful things you can do. And that's what NASA's done. And that's why space exists today, is because of their efforts with education-based marketing.
One of the things, thank you so much. Yeah, video. Of course, I'm a big fan of video. Marketers who use video grow revenue 49% faster year on year. So to me, video is like the hire a video blogger and make your life easy.
Yes. And make sure you get out there and partner up with all kinds of vendors and bloggers and like you yourself. And there's all kinds of, take Virgin Galactic, for example. Virgin Galactic has joined forces with Trek bicycles, with Land Rovers and Under Armour. All that expands their marketing. But the most incredible thing that Virgin Galactic, in my opinion, has done is that they made the experience something beautiful. If you had bought a ticket in 2005, 2006, whenever they started selling, and you spent $200,000 on a ticket and you still haven't gone up by now, most people would be highly upset. They'd want their money back. But Virgin Galactic, they started adding to the experience. They looked at their audience and said, what do we need to do to make them happy? And they made it more than just a trip to the outer limit. They made it a VIP club. They gave you special things that nobody else could do. So look at how you can delight your audience, how you can educate them, and how you can bring them as a partner.
Oh, Izzy, it's so nice to hear somebody on my wavelength. Very excited, very excited. We're all looking forward to your audiobook coming out. Jed says, I love audiobooks. I get through a lot of audiobooks. Melinda, you've got a fan here in the UK, Izzy. I would like an autographed version of your book.
Yeah, absolutely. I will have a way to do that.
Wow. Okay, now then.
And I'm a fan of the UK, by the way. I lived there for 3.5 years. And I loved every second.
I've had a really salty lunch, and that's why I keep on drinking. Right, I've got someone to introduce you to, Melinda. I'm sorry, Izzy. Are you ready to meet somebody?
Yes.
Very special somebody. He's been sitting here waiting the whole time, really, really patiently. And I want you to explain why this lovely little character, who happens to be a Martian, is so important. What? Am I on the telly? This?
Hi.
Oh, hi, Izzy. This is my little friend Krempog. I put my star tie on especially for you.
Thank you.
Now, Krempog is so much more than a trite bit of fluff. Speak for yourself. Krempog is our outreach alien. I'm from Mars, you know. And, okay, people might say he's Sesame Street or trite or daft, but I'm not aimed at you, grown-ups. I'm for the kids.
Yes.
So why do you think characters like Krempog are so important for helping?
Well, number one, I would be very honored to be compared to Sesame Street. You talk about education. They changed education. Those type of characters are wonderful for STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, math, which apparently, as base of our discussion this morning, we both need. Our countries really need STEM. We don't have enough engineers. We don't have enough people in those fields. And that's where it starts, is when they're little and they get introduced to someone from Mars, and they want to go travel and be there. That's where it starts. So
It wasn't too much fun on Mars. That's why I came to Earth, because you've got leaves and plants and stems. That's that, like what. I think we need to educate you into what stems are. There's definitely no stems on Mars.
Well, hopefully there'll be a lot of stems soon.
So that's Krempog. I'm gonna go back now, Krempog. Curl up in your little basket, and there we go. Little high five there. I touched America. There we go. That's Krempog. He is great, and ideally, I mean, look, I love making video, but I love doing stuff with Krempog more. So if you've got an outreach program, let's get Krempog involved, because the kids love him.
And the more that love space, the better.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Absolutely. Izzy, I know you've had a crazy day today. Tell us what you've been up to today.
I was actually at a conference earlier for where I work is the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet. And I was at a KEEN conference, which stands for Kentucky Engineering and Education Network. So we were trying to figure out how to make more engineers for the highway department.
Wow. Okay.
Airports.
You are amazing, Izzy. It's so wonderful to meet a kindred spirit, and thank you so much for coming on the show. And I'm definitely can't wait to get your book. It's just going to be like the manual to my life.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Thank you very much. And Krempog was very honored to meet you as well.
And
okay. Bye. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed that. I'm all on my own now. I'm actually at a friend's house. I've come to use a friend's internet here, because you need good internet for this live stream. So thank you very much to Steve for letting me use his music room. I don't know how many guitars there are here. That's about as good as my guitar playing gets. That is a nice guitar. I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 8 guitars next to me. So thank you to everybody who's joined the live stream. Thank you to Paul from Black Arrow. Thank you to John Wally and everybody who watched at home. Thank you to Victor and Valentin from B2Space. Right then, the must-watch space show is pretty much over and out. Let us play the theme tune, and let's have a look. We've got a message here. Absolutely agree, Izzy. We need STEM to succeed. This country is yeah, fair enough. Okay, let's just hit it with the exit music, and then I will bid you all good night and safe space flight. Where did it go? It's in my list of, here we go.
It's the must-watch space show with Vicky Video. Showcasing the UK. Space race. So like and subscribe to the Star Factory channel.
Also, we have a Martian. Come on, Krempog. Blast off. Great stuff. Thank you. And good night.